Why is Dr. Mathebula looking so fresh today?
I don't know. Something's happening.
Huh?
Something's happening.
Guys, I think you are very prophetic. I'm attending a function somewhere in Hammanskraal. That's why I look the way I'm looking.
Private location.
Private location. You see, Dr. Mathebula Mathebula gets to be a VIP. You see, he's dressing in white.
That's the first part. Not just white golf shirts.
But guys, I'm not in a place of doubtful reputation. I'm in the company of my wife. Now, guys.
Can we just say hi to your wife? We just want to greet her and thank her very much.
Oh, verify. Okay, you can verify.
Hi.
How are you doing? How are you doing, ma'am? It was not a question of verifying, right? It was a question of saying to her, thank you very much, ma'am, for always making sure that we take a bit of time, and talk to him. And you've never expressed any problem with regard to that. So you've never had a problem. So we are very grateful and very thankful.
Stan, thank you for your emotional intelligence.
Yes. Emotional intelligence.
Dr. Mathebula Mathebula, thank you so very much for joining us. We really appreciate. You don't know how many people are actually waiting to hear you today.
Yeah.
Today we made sure that all those people, we lined them up nicely, Dr. Mathebula Mathebula, so that, I know they will still hear the podcast, but, so that they can actually hear you live as well, Dr. Mathebula.
Yeah. Thanks, Stan.
So, you know what is very important about today, Dr. Mathebula?
Yeah.
Is that this might sound an orthodox type of a topic, because we are talking about a man's worst sexual fear. And sometimes when we talk about a man's manhood, people tend to shy away a little bit. And this is a very, very serious matter that we have to deal with.
Yeah, Stan, we are talking about matters of the heart. And one of the issues, we talk about sexual issues, and today we are going to talk about erectile sexual, penile dysfunction, or impotence.
Yes.
When your penis does not actually function the way it should be functioning.
Yes, Dr. Mathebula. Yeah. Dr. Mathebula.
Yeah.
You know what? We had a bit of a gremlin. We lost you just a little bit there. We lost you when you were saying, erectile dysfunction. But from there, we couldn't hear anything. It was very, very soft.
We are talking about, erectile dysfunction. In other words, impotence. When you have got a problem with your sexual organ as a male.
Yes. So this is a very interesting topic, Vision. I know you must not think that you are still young when it comes to this.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. This is educate myself to stay healthy.
Yeah, exactly. And I like the fact that, Dr. Mathebula Mathebula outlined this thing and, and streamline them nicely. So we are going to hear from him. But the first thing that Dr. Mathebula Mathebula we want to do is to actually define a man, what a man is, right? According to definitions, Dr. Mathebula.
Well, a man is what he eats. A man is what he loves. A man is what he thinks when he's alone. But if I could amplify that, that definition, a man is what he is when he's got a functional penis.
So, which means if he's got a functional penis, so there is something that it gives him. It gives him an edge, Dr. Mathebula Mathebula, like a competitive edge.
Absolutely, a competitive edge over a woman, because if a man feels that he's a sexual flaw, he actually feels that he's depleted. He feels he's not a man. He feels he has got nothing to offer to the world. Therefore, he's withdrawn, and then he feels he's nothing. He's no longer a man. He doesn't have any power anymore, and that's the problem.
Now,
And a man can talk about any diseases that, a man can say, I've got a stomach pain, I've got kidneys, I've got, all sorts of diseases. They can actually talk about them. But something that actually affects his sexual organ, they don't talk about that. They just recoil. They don't talk about those issues.
Dr. Mathebula, I remember when I was still working at Sportnet, passing through George Koch Hostel, I used to see a whole lot of men lining up there, imbibing on certain things, Dr. Mathebula. I don't know what we call those things they were imbibing on. What do we call those in African terms, Dr. Mathebula?
Imbiza.
The strong po.
Imbiza to boost, the sexual prowess, That, imbiza.
I like the fact that Dr. Mathebula chose his word nicely. He didn't say sexual dexterity, right? He said sexual prowess, right? Dr. Mathebula, Vision is going quickly to his dictionary.
And you know what? Stan, when I was working for the SABC, I once organized traditional healers. I was the first journalist to interview traditional healers. And then they told me that in the past there was an old man used to have a jar that will actually put under his bed. They call it maheu yam kalabja, maheu.
Yes.
There will be some concoction there. And then that man would actually drink that stuff in order to enhance his manhood.
So Dr. Mathebula, so you're saying Maheu Yam Kalabje played a role in quite a lot of old people's life during the time?
Yeah, absolutely. Because in the past, relationships used to be monitored. They used to monitor a relationship. For example, when you were married to a woman, there was a monitoring system.
Okay.
How did the monitoring system work?
How did it work, Dr. Mathebula?
For example, if you slept with your woman, they will actually give her a box of matches. Now, if you go for the first round, she puts one, she puts one on the side. And then the second round, she'll put the other one, that was a measuring tool. And then from there, they'll actually take all those sticks to the old man to say, this was the performance last night. And if, for example, there is only one stick,
Yes.
they knew that there must be an intervention.
There's a problem. Calling key.
But now, marriages this year or these days, relationships, we don't have any measuring sticks. We don't measure. Yeah. So in the past, there was a measuring stick. They would actually measure you. That are you a man or not a man?
Now, Dr. Mathebula, at some point in your life, your aunt, right, once warned you against imbibing in Izimbiza. What was the reason?
Yeah, my aunt did nephrology. Like nephrology is the study of kidneys. She said to me that if you imbibe all these stuffs, because some of the stuffs are very strong to an extent that, they destroy your kidney. Now you end up having a renal failure. And once you have got a renal failure, it means that you'll also be a sexual failure.
Ish. Twice. The failure.
And a colossal failure at that, eh?
Yeah.
Now,
So if you imbibe, you must not take those that are strong. Take the ones that are okay and moderate. Now you'll be a strong man.
Okay.
Now, a man may look very brave, Dr. Mathebula, and can be in a position to kill a lion. But there is something that they fear. What is that, Dr. Mathebula, that they fear?
They fear importance. A man can kill a lion. But, and you may say, this is a brave man. But there's something that he fears. He fears that, what about if, for example, I'm sexually dysfunctional? That is his worst fear. And also, like these are called, like sexual dysfunctional diseases or issues. Ne? Like for example, in Shanghai, they don't even have a term for them. They say "Imababji yatingana." It means that those are diseases that cause much embarrassment.
So why is it that mababiyatingane are embarrassing, Dr. Mathebula?
Yeah, people, as we said, men, they don't want to talk about that because they feel that they are diminished. If you come to me and say, you know what, I'm no longer performing in bed, I'm going to say, this is not a man, and men always, they want to be seen to be performing. They want to be seen to be these people who are satisfying their women and the like. And then now from there to share with another man that, I'm a sexual flop, it's a problem.
Now, what are some of the things that can cause anxiety, Dr. Mathebula? In fact, my question is that what is it that anxiety can cause also in men?
Yeah, anxiety, particularly, for example, executives. They've got time frames, they've got to do this, they've got to do this, they've got work pressures and the like. And once you have got anxiety, and then, anxiety may actually damage your nervous system or slow your nervous system. And then from there, you may not actually perform well, and then you may actually experience some importance because of anxiety. And then you see these people driving, swanky cars, executives who are working for 24 hours. But when it comes to sex, they're sexual flaws.
So when it comes to like the age of 50, what is it that we need to look at as men?
Yeah, now research has shown that 52% of men at that age they experience sexual dysfunction.
Oh, yeah. Dr. Mathebula, so age as well has got something to do with it, right?
No, not necessarily age, because that's the research that has actually shown that men of that age, maybe because of diseases, there are some diseases that are slowing, down your sexual prowess and blah, blah, blah. But that's what research shows, that so many men, in other words, research is actually showing that so many men have got that problem. Now, if you have got that problem, you are not alone.
So, Dr. Mathebula, now, what do you need to be able to obtain an erection?
Well, an erection, it has got, like for example, you need, the nervous system must be firm, as well as then, your heart, the blood circulation, because an erection is caused by, the circulation of the blood. If your blood circulates well and everything, you'll be in a position to experience, an erection. If your nerves are okay and the like, you'll be in a position to experience an erection. That's why you'd actually find that people who have got problems with, diabetes and the like, where the nerves have been affected, they've got invariably problems when it comes to experiencing an erection.
So what happens as the penis expands, Dr. Mathebula?
Well, when it expands, it locks everything. It locks the blood from flowing, and then now you actually experience an erection.
Now, Dr. Mathebula, let's talk about this research of about nearly 1,300 men aged between 40 and 70. What is it that was found, Dr. Mathebula?
No, they found that they found that the problem of erections was more physical. It was a physical thing that so many men experienced the question of erection dysfunction.
So in other words, why does erectile dysfunction create so much fear for men, Dr. Mathebula?
Okay, it's a very good question, and I'm glad you brought it up. Firstly, men by nature are very secretive about their sexual challenges. And he fears that his woman will share his weaknesses with other women. She's going to say to other people, Pelala, ano janchumu, akuna nchumu.
Kuhaba.
Kuhaba nchumu.
Hey, usokova muya peza unazonokuite.
Nah.
But what are the causes of the impotence, Dr. Mathebula?
But no, let's handle that, you know. And then firstly, he's afraid that he's afraid that his women will share this thing with other women.
Yeah.
Another thing, he's actually afraid that his women will start to disrespect him because of his non-performance in the bedroom. And also, he's also afraid that his woman will have a sexual or an extracurricular relationship with someone else. And that's the fear. That's where jealousy comes in. Jealousy is the fear that something will be taken away from him. Now, he's afraid that this beautiful woman of mine will be taken away from me. Even a garden boy can take it.
Can I tell you a little story, Dr. Mathebula?
Yeah.
There was this pastor, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that he was suffering from that. So he used to always, he was regarded as somebody who was very, okay, I'm looking for a word, but I'm just gonna say Rulindo, Dr. Mathebula, somebody who's very jealous, but in English I don't know what is the right word, but
possessive.
But Rulindo. So possessive, yes. Now this is the story. He will have a vendor Bible and put it somewhere, and then he said this Bible must not be removed. It must stay here. We're only going to use it there where it is sitting. So I don't want it to be removed. So he will go to work, right? Now at work, when he wanted to check where his wife was, then he will just call her and said, "Baby, I'm reading the Bible in this scripture. I just want to understand it in Luvenda. What does it mean? Can you read it for me there?"
That was a monitoring mechanism.
So it was a monitoring mechanism. But then she realized that she's being traced all the time. So she decided she's going to buy another Bible, and then she will put it in her bag. And then when he calls, at least she's just going to open that one.
That was smart. That was smart.
Yeah. So Dr. Mathebula, what are the causes of impotence? So what is it that what can you list for us?
Firstly, hypertension or high blood pressure causes impotence. Secondly, diabetes as well as kidney failure. Like kidney diseases, they also cause that because the blood is no longer flowing as it should be flowing. Also, a plethora of medication. For example, if a person who takes a lot of medications, this one, that one, the mixture, that mixture. At the end of the day, it clogs your nervous system, and your blood is no longer flowing the way it should be flowing, and therefore it has got an impact on your manhood.
So, which basically means that your body does not even relax as it should be. So, what are the solutions, Dr. Mathebula?
Yeah, firstly, if someone has got a problem like this, firstly, you must consult a doctor who may recommend either there are some drugs or surgery. Like there are some surgeries that are actually performed that can actually help you to go back to your manhood. That's in law we call it restituto in integrum, to be restored back to your former position.
Restituto integrum. Ay.
Okay, Dr. Mathebula, yes. And then followed by
secondly, eat a low-fat diet.
Okay.
For example, milk, don't actually take the high fat, take the low fat, You must make it a point that in your body you have got less fat.
Okay.
And then thirdly, you must lose weight. Like if you have got a lot of weight, you must lose weight. Stop eating animal fat.
Okay.
Like for example, people who actually go and buy meat, around the corner in the township. Stop eating animal fat because it's going to work against you. Exercise regularly and have your cholesterol and blood pressure checked during your routine medical examination. Like men, we have got a problem. We don't want to go for medical examinations. We are afraid to go to the doctor. Just go to the doctor to check your cholesterol, and then that's another intervention. Another thing, stop smoking, because smoking has got another thing. It's going to disturb your nervous system as well as the flow of your blood. And stop drinking. This thing
because I wanted to ask, so that we are clear when we say stop drinking. What is it? What is the type of drink that we are stopping?
We are talking about alcohol, excessive alcohol. Like for example, taking a glass of wine, after eating is okay because it deals with your cholesterol, which is okay. But excessive drinking, for example, you are busy with your beers and the like and the stuff. And say Cyril Ramaphosa says that we can buy from Monday to Thursday, and Thursday when you are drinking and the like. You know what? Vision.
Yes, sir.
Don't drink and drive, because people who are drinking, when they go to their bedroom, they can't drive.
The lucky part is
they don't drink, and because if you drink excessively,
Yes,
you
sir.
won't be in a position to drive.
Yeah, that's why
The
Vision.
vision, don't drink and drive.
That's why Vision doesn't drink at all. He wants to drive.
Yeah, that's why he drives, because he can't drink.
Yeah.
He doesn't drink.
Dr. Mathebula Mathebula, I really like how clever you put that one.
Don't drink and drive. Because once you drink, you can't drive.
Dr. Mathebula Mathebula, let's go to our vocabulary cabinet. What do we have in there?
Yeah, today we have vision. We have got hector, which is a verb, which means to harass, to bully, or to tease. I resigned from my job because my boss hectored me.
Okay.
Did you hear that?
Yes. Hector.
Hectored. So in other words, you were hectored. It's not really similar to lampoon, but yeah, but you were hectored.
Bullied.
So can Vision, can you give us the example?
The spectators hectored the visiting South African team in Tokyo.
Yeah, and it happened.
Well, what were they expecting?
So to hector is, in fact, hector is a verb. It means to harass, bully, or even tease.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not Peterson.
Yeah. Dr. Mathebula Mathebula.
Yeah.
Since this is an unexpurgated show, right? That's why we will say things the way they are, and we don't mind to be esoteric in this show.
Yeah, absolutely. We call a spade, not a silver spoon.
Exactly. Dr. Mathebula Mathebula, thank you so very much. I can imagine, the pressure behind you. You're saying all of those things, and you are very, very, very close to where your wife is. And I'm sure she's listening.
She's nearest and dearest to me. She understands the language. And Stan, next week I'll be right in the studio for a live program where we are going to discuss the Tatamkhulu syndrome. Next week I'm coming to the studio. And you know what Tatamkhulu is saying? He's saying any man must know ukuthi umfazi wakhe makalale naye, umfazi uyadelela uzokudelela ngoba sewulale naye. The next week we'll be exploring the Utatamkhulu syndrome.
In fact, next week we must also provide a lot of time. But we like the fact that next week you're going to be
live.
To be here live, and we'll be broadcasting this show live with you, Dr. Mathebula.
Okay, man. Thanks, and enjoy the show. And I'll see you next week. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of the show.
Thank you so very much, Dr. Mathebula Mathebula. We are also going to play you out with a song called The Light from Common. Thank you so very much, Dr. Mathebula.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks. That was Dr. Mathebula Mathebula. We called a spade, not a silver spoon.